Okay, good morning. We're going to have a lesson today that's going to be relatively easy because it's very similar to what we did yesterday. All right? So I've got my system of equations, my two equations. X plus 5y equals a negative 4, and 3x plus 5y equals a negative 1. I want to isolate one of these variables all by itself. So this one looks the easiest. I will need to do a little rewriting to get the variable on a side by itself. So I get x plus 5y minus 5y equals 4 minus 5y. A plus 5y and a minus 5y obviously cancel, leaving me with x equals 4 minus 5y. Cool. Now I'm going to be able to substitute all of this in for x of my second equation. Obviously I can't use my first equation because that is my first equation. See? This first equation got changed into this. So this is my first equation, and I could substitute this x in for my second equation. So let's do that. So I've got 3x is now 4 minus 5y plus 15y equals a negative 1. And anytime you're substituting in, don't forget you've got to put that in parentheses because you're going to have to distribute this 3 times each of these terms. So don't forget to put it in parentheses. So 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times a negative 5 is a negative 15y. And then finish the equation. Plus 15y equals a negative 1. I'm going to join my like terms. A negative 15y and a positive 15y, obviously they cancel out. That gives me 12 equals a negative 1. Oh dear, 12 does not equal a negative 1. That is a false statement, which means these two equations, or this system, does not have any solution that would work. No solution at all. Obviously, if there's no solution, there's no check steps. So that is always fun. So false is going to always mean no solution. Okay? Let's look at our next one. X plus 2y equals 4 and y equals a negative 1/2 x plus 2. Well, I've already got y isolated by itself, so I'm going to substitute all of this, y equaling all of that. I'm going to substitute that in because that's what y equals. Okay? So I write x plus 2. Now all of this goes in for y. So I put it in parentheses because I'm going to have to distribute that out. A negative 1/2 x plus 2 equals 4. All right? X plus 2 times a negative 1/2 is a negative 1x. 2 times 2 is 4 equals 4. So we know, we can assume that is a 1. So 1x plus a negative 1x, joining our like terms right here, is 0. That leaves me with 4 equals 4. So this is true. Take a wild guess what you get if the answer is true. And the answer is infinitely many solutions. It means that this system of equation, rather than just having one solution like we did yesterday, it is going to have infinitely many solutions because anything you would put in, because the x's and y's cancel, anything you'd put in for them wouldn't matter. They would cancel one another out. So they would always come up to be true, which means there's infinitely many solutions. So if you get a true, it's infinitely many solutions. If you get a false, it is no solution. Piece of cake, right? All righty, have a good day.